Uh, so yeah, Arpan, I'm starting.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, morning everyone. Thanks for coming on a festive holiday. So we intended to keep this on Sunday, but Sunday is Rakhi, and I know everyone is in a weekend mode. Plus, I believe a lot of you are final interest students having given their exams, and so it's your fun time, and we are taking some part of it. But we'll try to keep it interesting and worthwhile. So I'm not sure how many of you are aware. Python is a programming language. It's a scripting language for which we are intending to take the lecture. Of late, there is a lot of dependency, lot of increase in cloud data analytics, AI, machine learning. All of the word I cannot really say that I know of, or we all know the meaning also to it. But that being said, there is a tremendous amount of opportunities lying here. Uh, if you have read off lately with respect to IT companies hiring, they are hiring like crazy. They are hiring people with IT skills. IT sector is expected to grow in next 5 years beyond, I would say, beyond our imaginations. And every field or every company is going into IT, and some or the other developments there. AI and big data analytics. The next thing, while these words may sound very technical in general, it is really not. So I would say in last 10 years of experience in different industries and different systems, from SAP to Oracle to some local systems from Tally. At the end of the day, every management require data analytics, and I have seen in last 1.5 year, though not appeared, for various levels of interviews, various levels of openings coming for analytics, where I would say chartered accountants are not having an edge over MBAs. So this is where we actually lag, and this is where we intend to focus in the next 2 3 years upcoming, where we can tap these opportunities. So before I just tell Python, I would say that I'm not sure how many people have read, but in last 2 years, last 3 years, in the pandemic, there has been a tremendous rise in big fours and chartered accountants practice in different areas. uh, the day before yesterday, I read an article. PwC is to invest 1,500 crores to, get more 15,000 jobs at least in Indian market, and most of it will be focused on cloud and big data analytics. And this is the opportunity we want to tap, because where chartered accountants lag is the IT sectors in general. So even before we entered this, Rahul, I would say Rahul. Let's say if you met him 6 months ago, he would not know anything on Python, but today he's a Python certified trainer, and he has given a session to 10 kids of US and Canada. And we are expecting to get more of people from our profession also to join the IT field, because this will only give you a basic knowledge as to how IT works. So we need not be a app developer to understand IT. At the same time, we should not be the person, and I would say it personally, because I am that guy who will say कि यार मेरे को समझ नहीं आ रहा है, इसमें करके दे, to my lot of IT guys where I work. So I don't wish to be that guy, and I certainly don't wish our next generation to be that person who just understands accounting and then depends on IT for everything. So yeah, so Python is a general purpose programming language. It is often used in scripting roles. All these words, whatever bounces is going, Rahul will take you through the meaning of them. Rahul, next slide.
Yeah.
So it is a program language. It is simple and easy to learn. I would say this is more of used and very useful in data analytics, where there is tons of data and you can use this language to make a lot of analysis. So career opportunities Python. I've added this specifically because I think this is something which may interest people. While we feel, and I have also personally dealt a lot of fields where we think that the only opportunities in IT exist for IT people. IT engineering. Yeah, that is not true. I have tons of friends in industry who are chartered accountants in data analytics, who are chartered accountants in business analytics, and I am saying that is a very promising career in terms of position, power, pay, everything, and in terms of learning also, of course. I have, I think I can say that in my last 2 to 3 companies, I have seen positions like finance, business transformation, IT. I don't think anything such existed when we cleared chartered accountancy, and these people are really playing a critical and important role, having some more knowledge of IT than a layman does. So, for example, let's say it's not late, but let's say me or Rahul, after 10 years or 7 years of experience, if we want to take a turn and go for a SAP analytics business transformation guy, it is difficult for us because we do not have those skills from starting. But for CA students or CA finalists or even young chartered accountant who are just cleared, they should definitely use this to their advantage, and this definitely adds in their CV 100%. So if you have done an SAP course, an AWS course, or a Python course, it gives you an edge over someone who does not. So it is an independent third party survey. It has been discovered that Python programming language is most popular language. This you can Google it out. You will find even Google has adopted this as a second programming language. This is the areas where you can find opportunity: smart devices, web testing, AI, big data, game development. While you may feel that these words may not mean anything in terms of general, because we have done chartered accountancy, we have not come across anything like this. I can tell you 1,000 openings existing in IT companies in Big Fours, where where there are openings where they will say senior manager data analytics, and you will feel ये क्या बोलना चाह रहा है. ये यही बोलना चाह रहा है कि had you have some basic of data analytics and some IT related skills, you can become a senior manager in Big Four, and uh, rather than some MBA taking your job who may not have so much idea in terms of data analytics in general from a knowledge standpoint. So fundamentally, we are much more aligned than other field guys in doing this, but technically we certainly have some disadvantage here, and this is the vacuum EOTG has planned or targeting to uh, uh, you know go ahead with. So these are the job profiles. Of course, you cannot become a certified software engineer. Of course, Python developer, very less people can become with expert knowledge. But data analyst, yes. Research analyst, yes. Data scientist, yes. These are the fields, or software developer. Of course, you cannot become. But there are openings where you are a finance guy helping the software developer, and you are head for IT transformation, business transformation. Uh, so I'll give you a very live example of. So I work in a company called Trafficura, and we have specifically a team for researching of, because we are into trading, we research the rates and data of LME. We have a separate vertical for R&D, and it is fortunately headed by a chartered accountant who is the head research analysis, and he of course has much more idea of IT than layman like me does. So it is fantastic to know that where all fields and where all new opportunities a CA can go into. So research analysis is tremendous scope. Data scientist, there is a tremendous scope. Promising pay for career opportunities, yeah, uh, that's a data we have come across from generally internet, but the number can vary depending on the level you reach at, because you are not only into Python per se, you are also adding your own finance skills to it. So this is an added advantage to what you already are expert in, and not purely an IT field. The popularity of Python programming is, you can see the table below, and we will share this PPT with everyone, as Rahul said, for you to just understand how it is helpful. Yeah. So this is quite impressive. That 41 large associations in the world have received Python as an essential programming language, and it is exceptionally. It's not very old. It is not like Microsoft existing for 20 years. This is very new, and this has played a role in revolutionizing the programming language industry as such. And let me tell you very honestly, because when you read it on the plain front, it seems that आपको कोई कोडिंग करने बिठा देगा या ऐप का, ऐसा नहीं है. It, of course, there is some IT component to it, but other than that, it is interesting to know how Python works, and it is not that boring as it sounds uh, in general. So we have specifically created course to have developer master the Python language. The live and interactive Python training in Chandigarh. Correct. So similarly, we also had AOTG. We also had a very interesting sessions with Canada and US students, and they were very much happy with how things went. And there is an opportunity. I would say in developed countries as well. But for us, it is 2x because we are just getting there. They were already there before us in terms of IT development. We are, I would say, rather we have to grow 4x to reach where they are, and that means more opportunities for professionals. Uh, to sum it up, I would say that what from a EOTG standpoint we give in a certified course for Python is this: how to use Python, installing, how to do data analysis, running Python. We also do along with some portion of VBA, so how you can present those data, how to, of course, difference between programming and scripting language. What is the scope of Python? So this is the course we have. I think Rahul, we can send this PPT to people so they can go across. You can just
Sure.
scroll down the next slides.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So
this
these
is
are
the
the
course content that we are actually giving. So this PPT we will share with you. You can just go through the course content.
yeah. I think next what Rahul will take you through is demo of Python and how it works a bit, and a VBA using data analytics and Visual Basics. Before I log off and hand it to Rahul for now, I just wanted to say that this is one of the course, and we don't wish to take so much of your time to make you understand the other ones. Along with this, we also take up AWS courses, cloud computing courses, the tremendous field. Only by, so I know you must have read this in paper, but only by Geo and Google just merging their core competency, Google has said that we will be able to have revenue of $1 billion saved in India in next 5 years just by using cloud analytics. So apart from the fact that these words may seem only words, there is a lot of scope in cloud. If you have done AWS course, we have batches running full in AWS course. So people are getting aware as to it's time to change and go into something very different. So that being said, I will hand over to Rahul to take this forward. We'll send, so we are sending the link of the group which you can join, EOTG group, where we will be sending, and separately also we will be sending, if you require, on mail or on phone, PPTs with respect to Python, AWS, PPT with respect to Visual Basic, Advanced Excel, where we are currently having expert faculties taking different courses. And I would suggest personally, because I'm a chartered accountant, and not only from the fact that I run this organization, it will help me on revenue, that people who are already doing CA, who has some time on hand after the results or before the results, or uh, even doing their articles, if they feel they want to upgrade skill, they should join one of these programs as per their own convenience, of course, financials, and where they want to learn. Because trust me, as we go along, and we are unfortunately very young to say that we'll not be able to upgrade skill, I would suggest that someone, and it is not optional, but someone who has reached their 60s and 70s, about to retire, may have this as an option. We personally are not having this as an option in our mid career, and you guys will definitely not have this option when you go along the road of your journey in different organizations. So I would personally suggest to have a look at different courses which we offer, or you can have it look at outside as well. But do invest some portion of your time and money in skill upgradation, which will pay off in the longer run, 100%. Whether it's Python, whether it's SAP, whether it's cloud analytics, whether it's something you are more interested in. But and of course, always remember, do hedge over the edge technology, because हम लोग ट्रेडिशनल कोर्सेज में बहुत टाइम इन्वेस्ट करते हैं और वो करना ही चाहिए. बट दिस इज द नेक्स्ट बिग थिंग विच विल नॉट बी ऑप्शनल टू लर्न. सो इफ यू गो समवेयर, let's say I'm going your last example before handing it to Rahul. If you go to an interview after becoming chartered accountant, you say that I know SAP, I've done this course in SAP, and the second guy goes and he says I have not done this. Trust me, it will 100% give you an edge in your interview, someone who already knows SAP rather than someone who does not know SAP. That being said, Rahul, I think I'll share the group link with them. I'll share the registration link also eventually. You can take over for Python and VBA contents technical now. And
Right.
anyone who is interested in learning, knowing anything more, I'm dropping off my number and email ID, and Rahul will do the same maybe at the end of the course. And you can just reach out to us, and we are happy to help you. Ultimately, we have went through this course, so we know how helpful it is if someone tells us something more than what we ought to know. So with this, I'll just hand it over to Rahul. Have a good session.
Thank you very much, Chala sir. So as very well described by Jalas sir about Python. I would suggest all those who are not speaking, please mute yourself so that we can not have much of the
We'll
disturbance.
take some Q&A at the end. Don't worry. If anyone has questions, I think Rahul will give them the.
Jalas sir, you can unmute yourself, please.
Yeah, I was just saying that if anyone has questions, someone has written on chat, they can ask at the end of the session or in between. So don't worry, we will take Q&As. If something was not understood, some questions are there. Please feel free to ask. For now, let us switch to topic so that
Right.
and then eventually we will have Q&A.
Right, right. So, good morning, everyone. As very well described by Jalas sir, Python is the next big thing. I think that even when we are discussing it right now, we are already like 3 or 4 years late when it comes to exploring Python. But it is it is better late than never. And why we are pushing it more into our field is because of the fact that it is the most simplest language you would come across. Uh, a person who is actually going to learn Python, he doesn't need any C, C++, Java, or JavaScript. Any kind of knowledge related to programming is, it can be an added advantage, but it cannot bar anybody from not entering into a field like Python. Right. I am myself is the best example. I do not have any background in terms of programming. I am a chartered accountant, but at the same time, I saw there were a lot of opportunities when it comes to data analytics. And in data analytics, the first part that we cover is the VBA and the Python. Right. So what we are trying to project is, today all the accounting work and all the traditional work is handled by the system. And maybe 5 years down the line, since we are into a work from home zone now, 5 years down the line, the jobs related to traditional practice, a traditional way of doing accounting will vanish. Now people want more of a data analytics kind of a role, right? And Python, I'll tell you, Python is something, if somebody has a brief knowledge about, if he has done good schooling and he has done some efforts in his maths, and he has some logics in place, then Python is the thing that can be achieved. Trust me, guys, it is not something that is quite scary or maybe related to programming. All you need is an open mind to actually learn something like Python, right? And I'll show you how simple it is. And the best thing about Python is that it is an open source. That means right now, if you go for any other software, be it SAP, be it C, C++, Java, you need to pay for it, right? But Python is something that is, a very free source. So there is no bar in learning and executing your codes at a point of time. And the next thing is that Python is very portable. So you don't need any kind of infrastructure for it. All you need is an internet connection. That's it. And I'm going to show you how to do a Python programming on internet itself. You need not purchase any software, just like MS Office or other softwares that we purchase. We install it and then on our system only it works. It doesn't work like that here. Here, Python is very open source. You can run your codes from anywhere across the world. All you need is a platform, at the same time internet connection. That's it. That being said, we can start with Python. So what is Python? What is the crux, and why we are actually seeing Python as a next or maybe a present programming language which is going to rule for the next 10 years, is because of the fact that it is a programming language which is as usual as C, C++, Java, but it is a scripting language. Okay, so scripting language, what is the meaning of scripting language? Is when the word script comes into the picture, here AI comes into the picture, right? So usually if you have some knowledge about C, C++, what happens is that it is gold in, gold out, or garbage in, garbage out, right? This is the basic concept of programming. If you run your code right, then you will get the desired results. If you get your code wrong, then also you will get the result, but the wrong results. But in Python, it is not the case. Python is something which has AI involved into it. That means your code and your output, it is not code specific, it is not developer specific, it is output specific. So in Python, output is the king. So once the output is being designed or is being given to the system will verify your code and it will not accept the code until it is right. You got my point. So now here we have a yardstick, here we have a bottleneck where there is a break where AI is getting into the picture, where your code is being verified by the system. And that is the main reason why Python is so popular and it is getting popularity all across. And people, big companies like Google, Facebook, YouTube are actually using Python as a primary language now. So they are converting all their codings into Python now. So why Python? Because it is an easy language and it can actually see in C++, Java. For doing a particular activity, you need to run a code which can be of 15 line items. But at the same time in Python, a single line item code can actually do the work. So that is the efficiency and that is the effectiveness that the Python has. And on the basis of that, only people are so excited about Python and they are learning it, so that they can have an edge over their present profile, right? So as I said, it is a scripting language. So how it differs from C++, Java, it is because of the fact that it actually allows you to verify your code before running it. So Python has some kind of a filter, what we can say. It has a filter and it accepts your output. What output you want, it accepts your output, and on the basis of that, it accepts your code. So if your code is not as per your output, then it is not going to run the code, right? So here, a man and a machine both are running parallelly to achieve a desired result, and that is what we call artificial intelligence, right? And Python is also called interpreted language, right? So these scripting language, interpreted language, we are going to use it more because interpreted is what? Interpreted means to understand. So now system is that smart, the AI is that smart, it is actually interpreting what you want. Just like if you go on Google, right? If you have searched for some product, okay. So suppose if you have searched for some electronic appliance, right? The next search it will allow you to go is for some maybe some inverter or something related to that product. So how it does it? It is actually AI. It is actually trying to understand your behavior, and on the basis of that, it is giving you some output. So that is how AI works, and Python is nothing but an output of AI only, right? So moving on. Difference between programming language and scripting language. As I told you that, see, in programming language, a program is compiled and given in the form of some instructions, right? So whatever instruction you have given, the program is going to run. It is not going to actually stop you from running the code. But in scripting language, what we do is that we actually verify the code and then only the software allows you to run it, okay? So that's why now all the jobs, if you see, there are no jobs in Java now. All the jobs are there in JavaScript. So what is the difference between Java and JavaScript? Is because of the fact that JavaScript also allows you to verify. It has an ability to have an AI in place, that is artificial intelligence. And Python is also having the same kind of edge. So now JavaScript and Python are going to be the talk of the town. And why Python? Because Python is more effective and efficient than Java, right? So what can I do with Python? So system programming, graphic user interface programming, internet scripting. These words you might have heard when you were doing your this IT trainings and all in our course also. And trust me on this. Maybe if once if ICA also decides to actually revamp its course, these Python and other things are going to be the part of our course, because these are the things that are trending, right? So database programming, if some people might have used various facilities like Dropbox, OneDrive, all these facilities are made on Python programming language only, because it allows you to actually navigate very fast, right? Because it has, the volume of code is very low. Suppose if you have a Word file which has like maybe 1 lakh words, okay, and if you have a Word document which has maybe 5,000 10,000 words only, so both are doing the same thing, but the file which has 1 lakh words, it might be heavier than the one which has 10,000 words, right? So that is the only difference between Python and other programming languages, where your quantum, the area that you are capturing, it is less, so that if the area is less, so it allows you to navigate very fast, right? So as we already discussed, that Google and Cisco, HP, Seagate, all are using Python these days, right? Why do people use Python? That is very important. Python is object oriented. So why object oriented is, it doesn't know, it is not concerned about the code that you put in. It is more concerned about the output, that is the object. What is the object of your activity? If the object is to run some, if the object is to print hello world, then the code will be as per that. Otherwise it will not run the code, and I'll show you how. It's free open source. As I told you that it is an open source. Before it gets gets paid, we need to learn it and have a grip over it, right? It's very powerful. It is very powerful. It has many libraries, numeric, numpy, and other libraries are there which are very effective. All you need to do is that, why library, what is the meaning of library? I'll tell you what is the meaning of library. Supposing you have a physical library, right? So if you want certain, if you want to know something about data analytics, just for example, so what you will do is that you will just go to the librarian and ask him to give you the name of the book which is related to data analytics, right? And once you get the book, you get the data from it, right? So it is not the case that the book has been written by you. Got my point? Book is not written by you, book is written by somebody else, but you are taking data from that book. That is what we call library. So in libraries, what happens is that some code has some, detailed code has already been written by somebody else. What we do is that we just run it for our benefit, right? So it makes our effort, maybe 70-80% less. So what we are doing is that we are not creating anything, we are just using a library. So that is the main focus of Python. So in Python, that's why that is how chartered accountants come into the picture. We need not make a whole program. You got my point? I need not make the whole program or the whole programming to do any kind of activity. All I need is, I need to just see the triggers through which I can get the data from the library. That's it, right? It is just like an outsourced activity. How we outsource, right? So how we outsource is that we get some facility from other person, and we on the basis of that output, we do our work, right? So that makes our work a bit less complicated, and we can finish it in small period of time. The same happens in it with Python also, right? So it's portable. As I told you, it is portable. No software, and trust me on this, no software is required for doing any kind of Python coding. I'll show you how to do it on internet by using a website. That's it. Okay, so let us, before starting anything practical, I'll just ask you people to use chat box and ask your queries. Okay, I'll just give you 5 minutes to ask your queries. Till now, whatever we have discussed, if there are any queries, we are happy to take it, right? And then we'll go for the practicals of Python, right? Any queries? Chat box, you can use chat box. You can use chat box to write your queries. Please write your queries. We can take it up the queries, and then we can go directly to the practicals of Python. Any queries? No, it is not the only library, Mr. Jalaj. So Python has many libraries, right? Many libraries, many data dictionaries. There are, over the period of time, it is getting increased only. Yeah. So the best example is the best example itself is data analytics only. So see, if you see the whole data analytics, okay. So in data analytics, you have Python, you have VBA, Visual Basic, and then you have the advanced Excel tools, right? So what happens is that, see, why we use programming languages and why we use VBA. Supposing I'll give you an example in VBA also. Supposing you want to create a copy of a sheet. Just listen to my question. If you want to create a copy of a sheet by 100 times, so what you will do is that you right click on the sheet and then make a duplicate and then copy it. But 100 times if you do, then it will take you hours, and it is a very futile activity. So why programming comes into the picture is that programming makes your life quite easy. And I'll show you the practical example how it works, right? So then you will get to know why programming we are using. See, DBMS, don't see each and every part separately. Data analytics includes Python also, VBA also, database management also. So all these things are interlinked. You cannot you cannot learn anything in isolation. So DBMS is, of course, a separate subject, but you need to have your programming and you need to have your basics at place to learn all these activities. So see, there are various libraries that have been prepared by various people who are actually exploring Python. What we do today is we just take the referencing of that and we just try to run our codes. If the time permits, I'll show you how it works. See, Atom and IDE are advanced level of programmings. So see, right now what we are more focused on the basics of it. So the start point is what we see. Excel is something that everybody knows. Okay. Then after Excel, what comes is VBA, that is Visual Basic, which is a part of Excel. And then the next step comes to Python. And all these Atom and IDE are something that are later stage of an activity. Gaurav Gaurang, I could not get your question actually. What you are asking? Can you just clarify a bit? Mr. Gaurang. See, in a daily life, see, right now, as a practitioner, in your daily life, you can use Visual Basic at many time and at many point of times. I'll show you when we come on the Visual Basic part. I'll show you how to use it. And when it comes to Python, when you have volume of data, when you have a big volume of data, then Python, see, VBA and Python are both are not separate. In VBA also we write the code, in Python also we write the code. Okay, the only thing is that the way of writing the code is different. And in Python, see, there are programs that are prepared. So suppose if you have a very big data which cannot be handled by Excel, then you need to prepare a particular you need to prepare a particular program to actually do your activities. See, the beauty of Python is that it is an open source and there are various libraries every now and then that are getting explored. So one of them is NumPy, then you have Panda, then you have data dictionaries that are very helpful. Okay, so once you get into it, then you have many other avenues of libraries, and every now and then what I can see is that these libraries are getting created. See, right now, see, practicing chartered accountant, I'll tell you one thing. See, right now, if you are a fresher practicing chartered accountant, okay, you already have a lot of competition when it comes to the work, because most of the big works are already with the senior chartered accountants. But the edge that you have as a student, or as a practitioner also, the edge that you are going to have is the big data analytics. So big data analytics is not possible without Python and Visual Basic. So if you have a volume of tons of data, in that case, that the people who are senior chartered accountants, they might not be willing to have to take up such kind of activities, right? So these are the areas where fresh chartered accountants, we want fresh chartered accountants to have a competitive edge. Otherwise, if somebody is running a firm for 20-25 years, obviously he will be having a better position in the market than a usual chartered accountant. But what we can do is that we can just explore the areas of IT which is very less explored. So in usual life, when you are dealing with a big data, then you need to use Python and you need to use VBA. Yes. So see these what we can do is that we are just writing the data. See, we are writing the codes, and then those codes can be can be initiated afterwards also. What we can do is that, see, internet, see, data safety. I'll tell you one thing: data safety in India is an illusion. Okay, whatever you do on internet is being recorded. Okay, if you have a Google Google installed, or if you have logged into Google, everything has been recorded, everything is getting trapped in the data, right? So while learning, you should not be.
Yeah, Rahul, just to interrupt, sorry. So if you want to know how your data is being recorded, I am giving very simple example. You search something for, let's say, 2-3 times on Google, and when you actually browse your Facebook, Insta, or any other things, you will get recommendations of what you had searched on your Google. This is the simplest layman example of how what you are doing, how your consumer behavior is affected by what you're actually doing on your mobile phone. So आप Google पे जाके 4 बार गाड़ी search करो. Trust me, when you scroll your Instagram, Facebook, or any other thing, you will get that options of what car you are, different type of car. So they are actually controlling how you behave. Sorry to interrupt. Go on, Rahul.
So yeah, as rightly mentioned by Jalas sir, is that, see, what I feel is that right now what you can do is that, see, when if somebody has pizza or pasta also, that has been posted on Facebook and everybody knows it, along with the GPS position of that person. So we are the people who are actually allowing others to access our data, right? It is not the other way down. So I think that when we talk about learning, I don't think that we should be very very sensitive and very careful when we are actually having our sensitive information on social media platforms. So, and trust me on this, in India, data privacy is an illusion at this point of time. So moving on. So let us just start. So I hope everybody can see my screen. So we'll just go on to a website called Jupyter. Okay. So Jupyter is a platform on which we are going to do our programming, right? So see, there are two options that it gives me. It is giving me to install a lab, but I'm not going to do that. I am going to do it try it in your browser. So when I go and try it in your browser, then try Classic Notebook. So this is the binder that is going to run. Okay, you can just all you need to do is you need to write Jupyter on Google, and you will have this programming window getting started. I hope my screen is visible to all. You can use the chat box to say yes or no. So this is the base, home page of Jupyter. What we are going to do is that we are going to, first thing we are going to go into file, new notebook, Python 3. This you can do it at your, at your system also. Right now also, along with me also, you can do it. Okay. So this is the basic page of Jupyter on which we are going to do the Python programming. So the first thing what I am going to do is that I am going to go into view and toggle line numbers. So that line numbers can come. So and I can write the code. Okay, multiple times here. I'll just come back to here. So suppose if I want to print something, okay, I'll just put print inverted commas, hello students, right? And just run it. So it is showing me an error. Why? Because I have not added brackets to it, right? See, so see, the point that I am trying to tell you is that here there are already validations. So suppose if I just don't do it without brackets, okay, so it is not running my output. So the point that I am telling you is that here you need to actually be very specific about what output you want, and it on the basis of your output it is going to give the allow the input, right? So just like in first example, you can see there are two things that a programming language has, right? One is values, that is integers, and the integers are nothing but your values, just like these numbers, right? And the other thing is string. Okay, string is nothing but text. So you are, if you are learning any language in the world, you need to understand the difference between string and numbers. So numbers are something that are integers, okay, and strings are something that is text. So in Python, whenever you are using any string, so this is string, this hello student is string, okay. So if you want to actually use this string, you need to add brackets to it, and then inverted comma. So inverted comma allows the system to know that you are actually using a string. Until and unless you put inverted commas, the system is not going to understand what you want. Actually, supposing, let's take one more example, and I can use anything, right? Depending upon my output, it is going to show me the desired results, right? So let us see one more examples. See, let us see some math related calculations, right? So again, print. See, now I'm going to use what? Now I'm going to use integers. Here in the first line item, what I have done is that I have just used my strings, that is text. Now I am going to use what? Integers. Okay. And for integers, I need to use this kind of brackets. Okay. This square brackets, what we call. Okay. So I'll just put 3 plus 12. Let's see whether it allows me to give the answer or not. No, it is not allowing me. So let's add a bracket here. See, got it? How to do the calculations in Python. So see, what is the difference between this? In string, I have inverted commas so that system can know. I have inverted commas so that system can know that this is a string, and here I have a square bracket so that system can know that this is my integer that I'm talking about, right? So see, system doesn't understand or doesn't differentiate between string and integer, you need to tell the system that what is integer and what is string, right? Anybody having any doubt between string and integer? Please use chat box. Any doubt? See, string, it is very, very important to understand difference between string and integer to go ahead. Without that, we cannot go ahead with our class also, because see, every time I'm going to use a different set of rules for different integers and strings. So if you have any doubt, okay, I'll just repeat it. I'll just go on to this code, right? See here, see this part. This is my string. String means text. Whatever the name that we write or whatever the place that we write, these are called strings. Okay. So if I want, see, suppose if I want to print Delhi, right? So Delhi is a string. So I need to put inverted comma so that system can understand that it is a string. Okay. At the same time here, if I want to do some calculations, so calculation I cannot do with string, right? String is a text. What calculation you are going to do with the text? Nothing. So here for integers, I need to specify that this is an integer. I need to specifically specify that this is an integer, and that's why I need to put these square brackets. Okay. So you need to differentiate at every point of time what is integer and what is string. On the basis of that, your formula will come. Suppose if I just change the scenario, I'll just put in multiply. So it is going to show me the result as 36. So see, right now I am using a very small kind of a operation. Even if I write a big code also, the answer is going to come in seconds only, right? So in the same way, if I just make 36 divided by 12, okay, so it is going to give me the answer 3.0, right? So these are mathematical calculations that you can do in Python, okay, and just by putting a single kind of a multiplication and division, right? Now true false statement, okay, true false statement is something, you know, that will have always two outputs, either of the two outputs, either true or false. Okay, so these are true false statements. Okay, so true false statements, I'll tell you how it works. Okay, so suppose print, okay, bracket, then square bracket. Again, see, true or false I am using in the way of my integer and not in string. So suppose I write 2 equals to 2 or single equals to 2. Okay, let's see whether it gives me, see, it is giving me error. See, in Python this equal to doesn't work. If I want to compare two things, I need to put 2 equals to, see, true. See the statement, 2 is equals to 2. Okay, I'll just change the statement. Let's see what comes in. False, because 2 is not equals to 3. Got my point? These are called comparisons. These are called what? Comparisons. Okay. So in Python, single equals to is used in some other ways. I'll just tell you how we use it. I'll tell you, you know, when we go ahead, I'll tell you how to use it. But always remember, when you are comparing two values, you need to use double equals to in Python, right? So in case of single equals to, it is going to give you some other output. Clear? So instead of equals to, I'll just put greater than. Let's see what answer should come. False. Obviously 2 is not greater than 3. Suppose I put 4 here. 4 is greater than 3, the answer should be true. So see, it is coming true, right? So these are the basics of Python. Okay, so this is how you need to use it at every line item. So now, right now, because we are at the basic of it, we are seeing it part by part, but we will see a long code also running. Okay, So any doubt in this comparison? I'll just show you some other ways of doing it. Suppose I put 4 less than 3, the answer should be false, right? So answer is going to be false. Okay. Any doubts till now? You can use chat. Any doubts? If there are no doubts, then we can go ahead because we need to cover VBA also. So we'll have Python for 10 minutes and then we are going to go straight away to the VBA part, and then if the time allows, then we'll come again for Python because I need to explain things on VBA also. Any doubts, please, guys? Please, reply yes, no, anything through chat so that I can go ahead. Okay, thanks, Harsh. See, the idea is why we are putting so much effort into it, because of the fact that this is very easy. It is just that breaking. Suppose if you are writing a formula in Excel, and if somebody has used nested if, so in nested if, so where in nested if, what happens is that we combine a lot of formulas. So same way we are just actually trying to understand the parts of it right now, and then we are going to combine the whole formulas as well. Okay. See, this is very important. This, if you can see this sheet, see integers. These are integers. Okay. Integers can be in negative and positive both. Okay. This is floating point numbers. So floating point numbers are nothing but integers, but are in points. That is in decimals. Okay. And strings. See, strings are always as text. See, can you see the difference between integer, floating point numbers, and string? So this is very important to understand to actually start off as a Python programmer, right? So you need to understand that what is string and what is integer. What is interesting in this is 11 cats. So 11 is here, 11 is an integer, but it is used as a string. Got my point? It is used as a string. It is used as a text. So sometimes what happens is that if you are using a bank account numbers, I'll just show you in Excel itself. Supposing I just create an Excel document. So suppose my account number is 0000003456789. Okay. Suppose, just for example, it might not be 15 number, but see 0000 is not getting covered. So what I can do is that I will just put inverted comma, single inverted comma, and put 00 how many times you want. See, now it is a text. Now it is a text. Okay. See, why it is not showing me the total? Because it is a text now. It is no more a variable or no more an integer. If I want to make it integer, then only it is going to show me the total. You got my point? So here see, I have converted it into text so that I can show the zeros as well, right? And when I total it, it is totaling at 0, because this is for system, it is a text and not the integer, right? Same happens here also in 11 cats. In 11 cats also the same thing happens, where 11 has been converted into a string. Okay. Any doubt between string, integers? Guys, please respond. We can just. Any doubts? Great. Okay, moving on. Let's see what else we can cover in Python quickly. Strings, as I told you that strings, how to use strings. You can use anything. You can use "It's a beautiful day," right? And you can print it. This is strings. These are string types. Okay. Now comes variable. Okay. Supposing if I put s is equals to, here, see, here I am giving x a value. That's why I am using single equals to, right? I am not actually comparing two values right now. What I am doing is that I am just giving x as a value. Okay, I am just giving x is equals to something. So that's why I am using a single equals to. I am not comparing x with y. Just like I was doing here. Here I was comparing it like this. Okay, so it was giving me true and false, right? Here I am just giving x a value. Suppose if I give x a value as inverted commas POTG, right? And now at the second step, I'll just print what x. See, so what I have done is that I have given a variable. This is what we call variable. This is what we call variable to a text. You can give a variable to a text, or in a string you can give a variable to a integer also. Just suppose in this case I'll just write some integers. So for integers I need to use square bracket 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And if I put print, so see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 has come. So I can use, this is my variable, and this is my, this can be my string and integer, anything, right? So this is how you can actually see how we can give a variable to a, this is a variable and this has been given to a data type which is integer. Okay, it can be integer and it can be strings also, right? So in this case I need not again and again write this. All I can do is that print x, and what is the value of x? The value of x is this, right? Clear? Any doubts into it? So this is how you can give the variables. Okay, now we will just move on to our Excel, that is Excel VBA, right? Excel VBA, we'll move on to Excel VBA, and then if the time permits, again we'll come on to Python also, right? So VBA, right? That is Visual Basic. So Visual Basic we are going to use in Excel itself. Okay, so as I gave you the example of sheets, okay, as I gave you the example of sheets, suppose I'll just remove this data. Okay, see, the first thing that you need to do is you need to actually have a document which is saved as a macro enabled workbook. The first thing that you need to do is that you need to open a document in Excel, and then you need to save it in Excel macro enabled workbook, and then a workbook will be created. Okay, so this is a macro enabled workbook. Okay, so until and unless you have macros enabled, you cannot use VBA, that is Visual Basic, right? So before starting or before doing any Visual Basic activity, you need to actually have your macros enabled in your document. Say, as I told you that when you have see, Python is not directly related to your work, but at the same time when you have very big data, big volume of data to be verified, to be actually calculated at this point of time, Python libraries can help you to do that in a very in very small period of time. Okay, so same thing happens with VBA also. VBA also I'll show you how you can do a complicated task and repetitive tasks, especially repetitive tasks, how to do this repetitive tasks quite efficiently in your VBA, right? So the first thing that I told you is that you need to open a document and save it in macro enabled worksheet. Now you just go into developer tab. So developer tab, if you cannot see developer tab in your in your PC, then you need to activate it through options, right? So file, options, and then activate developer tab. So once the developer tab is there, then you need to go into Visual Basic. So some document like this will be created. Okay. Now let's see some of the formulas that we can use in Excel. Okay. Supposing I need to add the sheet. I need to add the sheet by name, properties. So suppose I'll just create one sheet and delete this property sheet. Okay. Right. Supposing I need to add a sheet with the name properties. Okay. How to do it? By using a macro. So the first thing that you need to do is that you need to just go into insert. You need to just go into the insert and go into module. Okay. I'll just copy this. I'll go into insert module. I'll just paste the for. So in VBA, always remember that your formula will always start with sub and end with end sub, right? So this is the basic thing that you need to understand, that the formula will always start from SUB, that is sub, and it is going to end on end sub. Okay. Now sub, this is something that you can write XYZ anything. This is not a part of formula, but this double brackets are something that you need to put so that the formula can start working, right? So as I told you that this sub is the start formula, that is the start point. Then add sheet, add underscore sheet. This is something that you can write anything XYZ also, no issues. And this bracket open close, you need to do it so that your formula can start working. Then sheets dot add, simple formula. Sheets, for sheets, what you can do is that you need to add, you need to put a formula called sheets SHEETS dot add. That means you are going to add a sheet. Okay. But if I run only add sheets, so it is going to add the sheet, but it will not add the name, right? It is not going to add the name. So what I'll do is that sheet dot add dot name. Okay. So I'll just remove this because I want a sheet to be added with a name. So sheets dot add was my formula earlier also. Now name also. I am adding a name. Name also, I'm just putting properties and ends up. Simple formula. Where what I am doing is that I am going to sheets.add.name is equals to properties is my sheet that I want to create. So once the code is complete, you need to add and end sub. Once you end sub and then run it, it is going to create your sheet. See, properties has been created. Suppose if I want to create property 1, property 1 has been created. If I put property 2, property 2 has been created. If I put property 3, property 3 has been created. So see, if I create a sheet manually, so what I do is that I create a sheet from here. I create a sheet and then again and again I need to rename it. Rename properties 4, right? But when we are using VBA, I can just do it with a click. And see, try to understand that in VBA, you need to only put a formula once. You need to put a formula once in a document, and then you can use it as many times as you want. So it has been 6, 7. Okay. The number of sheets that you want, you can create it. Right. So it saves a lot of time. See, VBA doesn't do anything extraordinary. It only uses the same formula. It is going to only use the same formula, and on the basis of the same, see, anything that you do in Excel, right, from if function, any choose function, any function that you choose, you have the same thing, you can do it in VBA. And why VBA? Because this repetitive task, See, again and again, I need to create a sheet. Okay, suppose I need to create 100 sheets. I need to go till property 100. Then it is possible through my VBA only. Otherwise, I'll waste my time doing the repetitive jobs again and again. That is why we are actually focusing upon learning programming, so that we can eliminate the work that we can avoid. So this is, see, as a professional, as a chartered accountant, or as a CA student also, it is actually wasting my time to create each and every sheet again and again. And see, trust me on this, you might not be facing a volume of data right now, but going forward, or if you go at a larger scale, in a better organization, in a better environment, you're going to have a volume of data. And it, trust me on this, the volume of data is in 1 lakh line items also. Okay, so in those cases, you need to actually save your time, and you need to use VBA for the codings, so that you can do your work efficiently. Any doubt in this add sheet formula? Any doubts? You can use the chat box. And this is something that you can use on a regular basis, as somebody was asking that what is its utility. So this is something that you can use on a regular basis, right? On your regular daily routine. Okay. So supposing here, the first thing that we did was to add a sheet. Okay. Now I'll do one thing. I'll just copy a sheet and paste. Right. I'll just copy a sheet and paste. Okay. So again, the same formula. One more thing I want to share here. Suppose I want to delete multiple sheets. I want to delete multiple sheets. So what you can do is that in Excel, you can just press Control and keep on selecting the sheets that you want to delete. Press Control and keep on selecting the sheets. I want to delete these sheets. Right click and delete it once. No need to do it with each and every sheet. So right now what we do is that we deal with a document which has like multiple sheets, especially when we talk about financials and all. So we have multiple sheets, like 30, 40, 50 sheets. So if you want to delete some sheets in group, then what you can do is that you can just press Control and keep on selecting the sheets that you want to delete. Okay. So now coming back to the copying the sheet. So again, the formula is going to start from sub, then copy paste sheet. Copy paste sheet is something that you can write anything. I have just written it because for understanding purpose only. Okay. And that is how you can put it. But this bracket open, bracket close, again, you need to consider. Then sheets properties. Which sheet I need to copy? This property sheet. The name of the sheet is properties, right? So property sheet I need to copy. Okay, this is my formula. That's it. Sheets bracket properties dot copy. That's it. This is my formula for copying the sheet. But here I am adding, suppose I have added sheet, just name it at sheet 1. Okay. So, but the copy that I want is before sheet 1. I don't want it after sheet 1. In sequence, I wanted it before sheet 1. So till copy was my formula. Till copy was my formula. I'll just increase the size so that you can see it properly. Yeah. So see, properties.copy was my formula, but I want to copy before which one? Sheet 1. So I have put before sheet 1. That's it. And end sub and run. See, can you see properties 2 has been created? Suppose in this case, I need to create copies 100 times, or maybe not 100, 30 times right now, just to show you. All I need to do is that I need to just keep on pressing. See, 32 copies has been created in just a second. But at the same time, if you want to, if you need to do it manually, then it will take you at least half an hour or 45 minutes to create all these sheets, and it is a very futile activity, and it creates a lot of issues while your work, while doing these repetitive tasks. So this is the magic of VBA, that a simple line code, a single line code can actually help you on a regular basis to create so many sheets. See, right now, always remember, you might not be doing that kind of volume of work right now, but going forward, see, I personally have done a project where I need to create a copy of a sheet, maybe 100 times it was. So I did it through VBA only. I cannot do it manually. See, if I do it manually, then I will not be able to meet my deadline. So in those cases, I actually used VBA, okay, to do the same kind of a activity. Okay. So sometimes what happens is that in my case, it was the case that there was a sheet which was having all the formulas. So all we needed was a copy of a sheet and rename it. So that is how I used VBA to do the same activity. Can you see all these 30 sheets being created? Okay, so you can just you can actually copy it and name it also, right? Copy it and name it, just like we did in the previous one. Add sheet with name, right? So in the same way, you can give the names here also, right? Just suppose I want to name it as properties 101, right? And I'll just remove this one. Right? So this is how you can make a copy. Some runtime error is coming. Let me see what it is showing. Some error is coming right now, but this is possible through copy.name. You can have this running, just like we did it for add name. Same way you can do it for copy also. Sheets.copy also you can do the same thing. Right now it is showing some error, but I'll show you how to do it. Okay. Okay. So now, any doubts in this part? Any doubt in this part? Okay. Now what we will see is that we are going to just we have done is that we have done add sheet with name and copy paste my sheet. Now we will see add data to sheet. Okay. How to add data to a particular sheet, right? So again, same thing. Again, same thing. Sub sales cell referencing. Cell referencing, you can write whatever you want, XYZ, and this brackets, open close brackets. Then sheets bracket properties dot range. Okay. Now I am using range type because I want to paste some data in a particular range in the sheet. So sheets dot properties in property sheet dot range. which range I want to put the data. Suppose I want to put the data from A1 to A100. If I want to put data from A1 to A100, okay, then is equals to Excel VBA. Instead of Excel VBA, I'll just put EOTG, right? So this is how a simple formula can put my data in the range of A1 to A100, right? I'll just run it. See, the data has been added to A1 to A100. The same way, if I want to add data in B1 to B100, what data I need to add? I need to add Excel VBA, right? So just run it. See, Excel VBA has been added, right? That is how you can actually, and you can go 1000 also. See 1000. I want to add what? Maybe Excel, right? And run it. See, Excel has been added till 1000 line items. This is how you can actually put the data in your workbook, right? Any doubts? Any doubts into it? Any doubts in how to put the data in the Excel sheet? Any doubts? Shall we move on? We have some more formulas to cover in VBA. Yes, no, any doubts? Guys, anybody can respond so that I can go forward. Am I audible? Hello?
Yeah, I think Rahul, you're audible.
Okay, okay, I'll go on. Okay, no issues. Supposing the data has come now. Okay, so the data has come now. Now, what I need to do is that I have just covered add sheet with name, copy paste data, copy paste sheet also. Okay, copy paste data we have not covered, right? So just we will do that copy paste data. So suppose here, if I go there, right? So sub copy paste. Okay, so same copy paste, you can write anything you want. For referencing purpose only, I have written copy paste. Then bracket, open bracket, close. Okay, then sheets, properties. Property sheet is my sheet. Then dot range A1 to A10, okay, is equals to tutorial. So this is something to put the data in A1 to A10. Okay, I'll just put the data in A1 to A10 again. Okay, I'll just override the data which is already written. Okay, or else I can do what I can do is that I can just delete the data which is already there. Right, I have deleted the data. Now I'll just go on to my VBA screen. So in VBA screen, sheets, properties, range A1 to A10 should be tutorial. Okay. Now range B1 to B10 is equals to range A1 to A10 dot value. That's it. So what I have done is that range B1 to B10 is equals to range A1 to A10 dot value. That means it is going to copy the data which is there in A1 and A10. Okay. So I'll just run it. So see, first step was to have the data in tutorial A1 to A10 and then copy the same into B. So suppose if I want to copy the same into C, I'll just put C, right? And then run it. C column also has data now. So this is how you can do the copy paste options through VBA itself, right? Clear? Any doubts? Any doubts?
Rahul, just a second, if I can go off topic. Arpan, are you there? Arpan? Yeah, I think he's away. I just wanted to check if we can multiply broadcast the PPT or we need to email everyone. So मैं अर्पण को अलग से बताता हूँ how you can carry on.
Okay. So these are the formulas, guys. You can use it on a regular basis, right? So what we have covered is that we have covered add sheet name, copy paste data, copy paste sheet. Now delete cells. Okay. Let us use delete cells in VBA. Right. So again, sub is the start point. Delete underscore cells is something that you can write whatever you want. Then this is my bracket, open bracket, close. Range B3 dot delete. That means B3 I want to get deleted. Right. I'll just run it one by one so that you can see the results. Okay. So B3 delete. That means only B3 will be deleted. Whatever is there in the B3, this column will be deleted. Let's see. See. So till B3, everything has been deleted, right? So suppose in the same case, if I just use it like this, range A1 to A10 dot delete. A1 to A10, I want it to be deleted. So I'll just put range A1 to A10 dot delete and just run it. See, A1 to A10 has been deleted, and the data which was there in B has been shifted to A, right? So this is actually, we are deleting the rows. Okay, we are not deleting the data into it. We are actually deleting the row. That's why it is shifting the cells. You got my point. There's a difference between deleting the data and deleting the row. So here, through this formula, we are deleting the cells. That means we are actually deleting it from its place. So that's why the data which was there in B has come into A, right? In the same way, I'll just suppose if I want to A3 entire column. If I want to delete the entire column A3, right? So I'll just put A3 and entire column. Sorry, entire row. Sorry, A3 entire row. So I'll just put some data in A3, or I'll just do it with A2. A2 entire row I need to delete. Okay, A2 may in A2 we have data tutorial. If I want to delete the entire row, just run it. See, the A2 row has been deleted. Same way, if you want to delete the entire column, suppose B4 entire column I need to delete. Okay, entire column I need to delete. So I'll just put B4 entire column, delete, run. See, the entire B column has been deleted. Now suppose A4 entire column I need to delete. So I'll just press run, delete. So this is how you can delete your cells. See, each and every, as I told you, each and every option in Excel can be used through VBA. Each and every option in Excel can be used through VBA, right? So this is how you can use it. Yes, we can share it with you, no issues. Okay. So this is how you can delete your data, right? Let me see, row column we have done, copy paste we have done, add data to sheet also we have done. So we have done the part that we had to cover in our VBA. So Jalas sir, I think you should take over.
Yeah, I was gonna say that only it's a weekend and I think you have pretty much covered the basics. So thanks everyone for attending this session on a Saturday. Also, since we are taking a lot of different courses on this, let us send you what I am. Arfan is available, kya? Arpan? So actually, I intended to ask you if we can broadcast the PPT to all. And anyways, if you have already joined the link, we will share the PPT on that. Below are our numbers and credentials for you to reach out to us on anything you want, which should not be restricted to Python or Excel. Rahul, you can also paste your
Yeah,
whatever.
I'll paste my number also.
And I am also pasting our registration link for various courses. I highly recommend you at least go through it, since I am assuming everyone will have a off time before the results who are appeared in their exam, and it should be a great experience to, I guess, learn some stuff out of it. Uh, the courses we are offering currently are, just hold on.
Can we run the PPT for this EOTG community for 5
Yeah,
minutes?
let's make it very quick so that then people can move on.
Yeah.
So there's a community we have formed for learning and development, and broadly, this community gives overall generally weekend lectures for free. The idea is to give free learning, but we also take various courses which are on paid basis. So yeah, yes, Rahul, go on.
So EOTG
This is an
community was,
initiative you've done.
yeah. So you can go on, please.
Yeah, go on. Yeah, so it is a community of experts formed from various areas, and the intent was to give learning and development in all areas and to make it as a part of your normal life. And the skill upgradation has to go on as a continuous process. So we provide online platform because it is not possible geographically to do it everywhere. So we have already covered the following sessions you are able to see on your screen: SAP, Python, MS Office. For all these sessions we have provided, we also take certified courses training, and otherwise we do it on weekends for free, depending on how we are running our courses and how people are interested in doing so. Yeah, we both are the founders of the community mainly. I'm CA Jarak and CA Rahul Lekal is taking a technical session. These are our brief credentials of what we do. You can add us our number. You can reach out to us on our email ID, LinkedIn, anywhere, and we'll be happy to help you. Yeah, Jalaj Yagnik, I think once this is over, you can ask a question to Rahul. So following is our team, company accredited chartered accountants, IT guys, stock traders, professional counselor, yoga experts, doctors, and lawyers. And we are still adding. If any one of you is interested in taking any sessions also and is good at speaking something or technically, please reach out to us. We will arrange a session for the same. And our presence on social media everywhere. Rahul, do you have our trading partners PPT, or can you do you have that?
Yeah, it is there in this only.
Okay.
So advanced Excel is something that I myself take.
Personally takes, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a 8-hour session, I think $1,500. Python we take over 6 weekends.
Python we take over 6 weekends. So again, for that I am the trainer.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just a second.
Yes,
For
sir.
public speaking.
Arpan, I guess. Is
Yeah.
Arpan,
Hello.
just a second. Arpan, just a second. Yeah. Arpan, my request was if I can share you the link and the PPT, can you broadcast it to Vikasa after this session?
Jala sir, you can unmute yourself.
Yeah, I done that. So our people, public speaking partner, please as above. If you want details, you can reach out to us. Yeah, this is our partner. It is very important. AWS and cloud computing. There are varied courses, and trust me, Amazon has built like 6 fulfillment centers here, and it's going to be a big thing in next 2 years. So I would highly recommend you take up either of these courses which you are interested in, but have an edge over everyone else in the technology department. I think I and Rahul myself are planning to do it next month. Our stock trading partner, Market Warriors. Yeah, we had a fantastic session by CA Pankaj, and he's running a successful stock trading company, and he's a superb in tech. And I think Rahul has already done a technical analysis course, and he will not reveal how much money he's making, but yeah, he's making good money. Yeah, for SAP, a tremendous opportunity. A to Z is our partner there. is giving on all the modules. We have separate modules PPT also. If anyone wants it, they can reach out to us. Since this is the time of your result is pending, I would highly recommend to take it, one of the modules, which will give you an edge because SAP is there in almost a lot of multinational companies. Yeah, for now this is it. We hope you like the session. We expect to keep growing and expanding in various areas, and also reach out to us if you are an expert in any area. If you want to take a session, we will be happy to have you in our team. Arpan, I will send you across our link of WhatsApp and our Python PPT. Request you if you can broadcast the same after this session so that everyone has that. Even if those who have not attended for, maybe they wanted to attend, they could not. So I hope people you have learned something and it was a productive use of the time. Over to you, Rahul.
Yeah, thank you very much for your patience listening, and thank you, Vikasa, for allowing us one more time to come on
Yeah,
the platform.
Mr. Jalaj has some question. If you can ask, and we can.
I think
Hello.
we can connect with him afterwards once the session gets over. You can connect me directly on my phone number or WhatsApp, right? So for the interest of the time, I think since a lot of people are already there with us for more than 1.5 years.
Correct.
Sorry. So now I think that we should wrap it up, and if there are any specific queries, then we can take it out personally, so that for the interest of the time of the others. Right. Thank you, Arpanji, for allowing us to have the session again, and hope to have such more informative sessions in the days to come. Over to you, Arpanji.
Thank you, sir. Hello, I'm audible.
Yeah, Arpanji. Yes.
Thank you,
Arpan,
sir.
can you broadcast this? I have sent you something. If you can broadcast.
I will do. I will do.
Yeah. If they, I'm sorry, if they come at, please you can just ping us separately what we course want to do. We will send you the PPT and please don't worry on it. Yeah, sorry Arpan. Thanks. I hope you had an informative session and you will give us chance again to do it on some other topic. We are preparing a super module on cryptocurrency and hope you guys will know it. Yeah. Thanks Vikas and thanks Arpan. Over to you. You can, in case you want to wind it up.
Thank you, sir, for a wonderful session.
Yep. Thanks, Arpan.
Thank you, Arpan, and thank you guys. Hope to see you again. Thank you very much. Thank you.